Hello viewers, this is Marianne from Revealing Light Tarot. Again, thank you for the support of my channel. I want to move through as many sort of snapshots, if you like, of the governor races in Florida and Kansas, and then if we've got time to move to the Senate. And I want to look at the top two candidates who are in doubt, and of course that's our friend Heitkamp, God bless her, and also Dean Keller, who's a Republican in Nevada. For Heidi, it's obviously Kevin Kramer is ahead, but that, you know, she has pulled out rabbits out of a hat in the past. She may do so again. The Kavanaugh vote, you know, they say the Kavanaugh vote went against her, and in Nevada, Dean Keller, it says Kavanaugh vote went against him. So it's really interesting that our friend Kavanaugh is you know, making his appearance so strongly in these midterm Senate races. So that's interesting. We'll put that aside. First of all, we'll go to Florida and Kansas. And the reason that I chose these two governor state races, Florida, I think, is really representative of what is going on in America at the moment, because we've got Andrew Gillum, who is the mayor of Tallahassee, and he is an African American, and then we've got Ron DeSantis, who's been accused of writing a racist or contributing to a racist book. So he's made racist comments in the past. So it's like, gosh, you know, every day I'll see a video of you know, people being harassed on the street and other people coming to defend them. And, you know, it's very, that Florida race is very symptomatic, I think, of what's going on there at the moment. It is a battleground state for both parties, and that, again, shows the significance of it. Andrew Gillum is slightly ahead in the polls. But, you know, really anything can happen. Anything can and does happen. The polls, from my experience with polling, and I'm not sure how it is in America, but in Australia, polls have been wrong. So when you go and you make a lot out of the polls, surprises can come and get you. So now I'm not saying that's the case in Florida, but I think it is a very close race nevertheless. And of course the win will be absolutely fantastic for the Democrats if they take that state. So having said that, let's see what I can get, and let's see what might happen in Florida between Andrew Gillum and DeSantis. Gillum. I'm just seeing, you know, I'm just seeing Gillum really being, you know, really with his focus not on this race, but on the hurricane. So it's a bit hard to get a current reading for him, because I don't actually feel his priorities are actually helping people through this damage that was left by the hurricane. In relation to DeSantis, I think that his behaviour, his racism is actually going to go against him. I think there's enough backswell in, if you like, in Florida to sort of, there's probably going to be a bit of a protest vote there, that people don't want to see those sort of comments made, and that's a good thing, that there's enough reaction there at this point in time. So let's see, Gillum, DeSantis. Yeah, look, I'm kind of getting a little bit of a read on Gillum and thinking that he could actually be successful, but as I said, I can't sort of, he doesn't seem to be sort of focused here on this race at the moment. He's more concerned about the hurricanes and the hurricane and what damage it's done, and his other role as mayor of Tallahassee. But the Page of Wands, okay, let's have a look at that. The Page of Wands is you know, it's all about new careers. So you know, this could well be as I said, he's focused on his mayoral roles. This could be referring to a new career as a senator, a United States senator. So let's just see how the other cards play out. I guess the challenge for the situation. This is the Six of Cups. Okay. So this is like. Okay, so what this is telling me is the challenge for Gillum at the moment are the old Republican links in Florida. Okay, they're hard to break. People don't want too much change. They want their comfort. They want that comfortable kind of, what they've been used to in the past. So that's hard for Gillum to break through, not necessarily saying that he won't. Now the focus of the situation is this ten of Swords, and of course that is loss. And who's that going to be for? Is that going to be for the Republicans? Is that going to be for DeSantis? My reading straight away is it's an ending, okay? It's an actual ending for somebody. Because of DeSantis's behaviour in this election, I feel the energy around this card is that is for DeSantis. And my comments before saying that, enough people don't want that underhanded racism coming into the election, and not from their future governor. So it could be that's what I'm seeing there for DeSantis. You live by the sword, you die by the sword kind of thing. Now in the past, this card is telling me that there probably has been a vacuum in Florida for the Democrats. I'm assuming there has been because the Republicans. It was Republican Scott, I think, who's the previous governor. So it's been not a state where the Democrats have been in that overarching way. Their power has not been felt in the most recent past. It's almost like that progressive liberalism has sort of been on hold a bit in Florida. So again, that's an interesting card. And in the future, we've got disappointment for somebody. And I'm just not sure whether that's... Okay. So the strength of the situation is this disappointment for somebody, this apathy and disappointment. If I just tune into the energy of that card, it could be that DeSantis comes a bit of a drift. He makes a mistake in the campaign between now and November the 6th. And whatever that is, it might be inappropriate comments again. It might be something coming from his past that could influence. But for somebody, there's loss there, and it is related. I mean, this reading is sort of like we're dealing with the here and now. So I'm tending to think that this card is more relating to something that may occur for either of the candidates, although my fear, between now and November, that will cause a huge, it's not huge, but it's a mistake, it's a campaign mistake, something emerging that causes the electorate to reassess. Now, my feeling is that it's a loss for DeSantis because he's living by the sword and therefore, going to come undone because of the sword. But I also don't underestimate Republicans either. Because in my last reading said, in this battleground state, there's going to be all sorts of tricks and fake stuff and digging into, and trying to unearth dirt on candidates. I mean, it's pretty dirty, really, isn't it? So let's just pull the card. Okay, so we've got the Lovers, which is relationships with people. So who's going to have that? Look. My energy reading of these cards at this stage for Gillum is he's going to likely be successful, because the reason that I'm thinking this is for Gillum and not for DeSantis is because this is a new job. And this is a new job for Gillum. And as I drew that card, I was talking about his mayoral responsibilities. and this is, pointing to these new relationships because, as I said, in the past in Florida, there's been this, it's not been it's not, as I know it or as I'm reading it, in the most recent past, not been a state where Democrats have been overly influential in recent years. And the barrier for them has been this breaking through this Republican, almost like Republican, thinking and ways, or it's all, this, I guess, it's not nostalgia but it's almost like fear of change. Okay, so breaking through this fear of change in a certain demographic in Florida is going to be hard for Gillum. So look, at this stage, it's a bit ambiguous, this reading, to be honest. I can't really get a clear reading, except that I'm thinking that Gillum is probably likely going to be successful based on that Page of Wands and the Lovers. There appears to be disappointment and loss and grief coming for someone. My reading is it's possibly DeSantis because of how he's conducted himself in the campaign. But I don't, at the same time, after the cabinet debacle, I don't underestimate the Republicans either. So I'll just clarify the lovers card. Is Gillum likely to win this race? Okay, Gillum likely to win this race. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So. Again, this is a bit ambiguous because this is the card of, money and self-sufficiency. And, while it's not a negative card, it's also, it's also tied with that money and materialism, giving independence and self-sufficiency. So I won't call this one, except to say that it's looking likely that Gillum will have a win. And that we need to watch between now and November 6th for anything emerging scandalous, almost, I think. Scandalous on either of the candidates. Possibly DeSantis will be, will come out. There'll be inappropriateness, raised with DeSantis. So interesting. Okay, that's Florida. Let's have a look at Kobach and Laura Kelly. Now, Chris Kobach was heading up Donald Trump's voter suppression, what would you call it, agency, project, trying to get away with blue murder and suppressing the vote. So this one, again, I've chosen Florida and Kansas for particular reasons. Florida because I think it's got those elements in that we're seeing, the major issues across America in terms of racism, but Kansas, I think, because Chris Kobach is the sort of like the king of voter suppression. Now he's running against Laura Kelly. Kelly's slightly ahead. So let's have a look. Who will win out of Chris Kobach and Laura Kelly? Okay, so will Laura Kelly, she's experienced representative, will Laura Kelly, but her profile, is not high, or not as high, but she's certainly slightly ahead in the polls. So will Laura Kelly win Kansas? Yeah, this would upset the Republicans if she did. So we've got this card of illusion. Funny, we should pick this in Chris Kobach's seat. We've got this card of illusions, and it's the Seven of Cups for those that are interested in more detail on the tarot. But this is issues and abuse. Okay, so Chris Kobach in some ways he's brought his voter suppression tactics to this election, and he's abused his position in the past. That's very much showing up in this card, but again, there's heartbreak there for him because this card is for Chris Kobach. Okay, this is for him, and this is going to tell against him. It's going to challenge him. This past, this role that he's played in Trump's administration, this voter suppression, it's going to tell against him in Kansas. Now, yeah, there's retreat. Okay, so look, I'm pretty much seeing, without drawing too many more cards, yeah, it's going to be hard work for Chris. And the strength of the situation is this new things coming forward, and Laura is that newness that's coming forward, and yeah, there's the electorate's going to judge Chris Kobach. So look, based on those cards, that was quick reading. It seemed pretty clear that that Laura Kelly might win at this stage, might win through Kansas. Yeah, the Florida reading wasn't as clear, was it? I might have to do Florida again closer to November the 6th because, yeah, I just didn't get a clear read on Gillum. And it could well be that he's just sort of stepped out with those hurricanes and that hurricane, and he's just not. I just didn't get his mind in this battle right today. So we might put him on the back burner. But certainly in Kansas, it looks like Laura might be successful. So I want to then go to Heidi Heitkamp. I would absolutely love it if Heidi won through. Indications are that she may not, but there is this idea that that she's pulled a rabbit out of the hat before, that she's faced. I think I read somewhere where she'd been 10 points behind in the past. That didn't go so well, and she was able to get that lead down and win the election. So she's not out of the race yet. So we'll keep our eye on Heidi Heitkamp and our hopes with her as well, because she was incredibly brave in saying no to Kavanagh, even though she knew it may well cost her Senate position. So here's a woman with a lot of integrity. So how's it going to pan out for Heidi? Okay. Well, okay, will Heidi win out? Will Heidi win over Kevin Kramer in North Dakota? Is Heidi going to win this election? Okay, let's see what dropped out. The World. Now, that's an interesting card. The World, it could just be that the world, the eyes of the world is on this Senate race, and simply because of the Kavanagh. I don't want to underestimate how serious what occurred with Kavanagh actually is, and we haven't heard the last of it. When I feel it's right to do another reading on Justice Roberts referring the case over to for the ethic complaints against Kavanagh, my feeling when I saw that story was this isn't going to end well with Kavanagh, but I need to do another reading, and I will. But for Heidi, this is very much playing out in this Senate battle. And the challenge for her was the choice that she made. But that's not to say that she's not going to win. It's just, it is impacting on her race. And justice. Now, the focus of the situation is justice. Now, she voted no in order for justice to be served. It's not saying that she will win this election. It's just the background to it is coming out, the reasons that surrounding this election. Now, things happen very quickly, or in the past have happened very quickly with the Kavanagh. So it's almost only now is it catching up. That people are now reflecting. So it could be, this is too early to read on this, but look, the strength of this situation is the Ten of Cups. And this is actually quite a strong card, because it is all about support, love and support. So there is support there for Heidi Heitkamp. There is support there based on the decision that she made on Kavanagh. Okay, then we get this delusions card. Okay, so the Republicans are really going to hammer her on this. They're going to really, really, really hammer this because this is the focus of this Senate election, right? And they're going to take that decision, that choice that she made to vote no on Kavanaugh, and they're going to push it and push it and push it. So there are some strengths to this situation, but right now it's too soon to read. It's definitely going to go against her, that no vote, and God bless her, as I said. She's a, but in a way, if it does, it doesn't. I mean, she did what she had to do, and she completed that. Her goal was to do what was right, and she did what was right, and she completed. Again, that's another aspect to that world card. I'll just do, again, this is a bit like the Gillum reading. It's not really telling me either way, except that there are strengths here. There's support, a lot of support for her because she voted no, but it was also indicating the Republicans are really going to get mileage out of this. So is Heidi going to be able to overcome this? Okay, it's going to be hard work for her. Okay, so look, I'm not going to call it either way. You've seen the conditions in that reading, and you can use your own intuition. My own intuition is saying it's going to be an uphill battle for her to win. Okay, so that's where I'm going to come out on this. Now, I want to look at Dean Heller from Nevada and Jackie Rosen. Rosen is as I said, it's a tight race. I think she might be slightly ahead. So let's have a look. Will Jackie Rosen win in Nevada? Okay, win the Senate seat in Nevada. Jackie Rosen, Dean Heller. Yeah, Heller's under pressure. That's the energy that I'm getting. He's under pressure. Jackie Rosen is putting her under pressure, and the longer it goes on, the closer we get to the midterms, the more pressure he's going to be under. I don't know why. He is worried about winning. He's not confident about winning. Okay, so the energy I'm getting around that is that, it's looking pretty good for Jackie at this point in time. So will Jackie Rosen win the Senate seat for Nevada, Jackie? Yeah, look, I'm getting a blue. I'm getting the blue wave. Okay, not the blue wave, the Democrats' blue. Okay, so the Knight of Pentacles, hard work and job offers. This is sort of telling me Jackie's going to win because she's not the incumbent. The challenge for her is, she's going to have to keep, the Democrats and Jackie are going to have to keep their eyes right on the ball right up till November the 6th. They're going to have to put that hard work in. And, the focus of the situation are choices for Nevada residents, okay? So I don't know enough about Dean Heller's background, but there's some issue there for voters regarding Heller. I'll have to go back after this reading and find out what it is. But voters are actually feeling like they're in a bit of a double bind. So that could be the independents who went with Republicans in the past are actually thinking of going to Jackie Rosen now. Even though that might not be what they absolutely want to do, they're actually thinking they're going to do it, and that is the focus of the situation. It's those that may not have convincingly voted for Jackie in the past will actually do so now because there's an issue around Heller. Now, the Queen of Swords in the past, okay, this is again pointing to that issue with Heller. That is the truth, okay. There's something there that's pointing to this kind of truth coming out in the past regarding Heller, which has caused people to go with Jackie. And of course, here is the Nine of Cups, the Miracles, the Wish card, So, the emotions are running high in Nevada, and they're running high for Jackie Rosen. And necessary transition and moving on. Dean Heller is the incumbent, and they will be moving on from the Republican Party in November. So that's my reading on Heller and Rosen. At this stage, at this point in time, we've got another, few weeks to go before the midterms. But at this stage in time, my reading of the energy of these cards and the narrative that they're telling me shows that it's likely Jackie will win. So that's the a bit of a roundup on the governor races, a bit of a roundup on two senators that are in trouble in their states. As I said, just in summary, I can't get a good fix on Gillum. It seems that Laura might take it in Kansas. That's for the governor races, and then for the senators who are in trouble, it looks like Heidi may not be able to overcome, but, she's facing a headwind. Let's not write her off yet. We've got another month to go. And it looks like Jackie Rosen, providing she puts that work, that hard work in, should be able to triumph over Heller. So that's just a brief roundup. I will keep doing these. I kind of choose these state races, and again the senators. We might go through all the senators because I think they're very important, because the Senate, to my readings, it's not a done deal at all, but also these are based on readers' questions. So if there's any anyone that you want to look at, please put them in the comments, and I'll try and read them. We've got another few weeks to go, and it's good. It's good to have a look at these races and be a little bit entertained with the findings. In any case, I hope that the Democrats win out, and I've said that. I'm not a Trump supporter. But we also need to remember that these readings are for guidance only. They're not absolute. So please don't put your hopes on them. You've seen the cards, you've heard the narrative, and you make your own mind up about which way you're going to go. And look, let's this is the value of it, the way that we're all interconnecting, and the comments coming through on the readings. It's absolutely marvellous. So again, thank you for subscribing, thank you for donating, thank you for supporting the channel. I enjoy doing these readings, and I hope you do enjoy them as well. Thank you for watching.